Lawn sprinkler system, lawn irrigation, namely pop-up heads for areas, smaller areas perhaps. Sometimes they're even used in the regular lawn in certain areas where the configuration may be tapered down, where an oscillating head may have too much pressure. And if it has too much pressure, one may miss the water beneath the sprinkler head itself. So then the question is, this is a pop-up head, and it's a and the topic of this video is like, what does a pop-up head look like? This particular head here, I'm not sure who invented it, but or who designed it, but my opinion is it's a very genius idea, because now I'm not certain this is what the inside, this actually fits into the bottom of this. So that's what it looks like. It's basically a hollow shell. So the question is, how does the water actually work when you're watering your lawn, whether you're doing a 4 foot, 6 foot, 8 foot, 10 foot, etc.? Well, and then how does the sprinkler head know to come back down or retract after the irrigation cycle on that particular zone? Let's just say it was zone one. Zone one's running for 5 minutes, then 5 minutes expires, that's it. Zone two, 3 minutes expires, that's a hypothetical. So the question is, how does it water? Secondly, how does it retract and know when to come back? The water actually comes in here, and the water pressure drives it up through the polyel, through the bottom of the head. And when the water pressure drives it up through the bottom of the head, it drives the head. So it actually pushes this spring. And when it pushes the spring, it pushes the head, let's just say here, and it pushes it out that way. Okay, so when it retracts, the spring actually releases. So now, the thing that impresses me, it's such a simple idea, but how do you have, I mean, do they test market these and go through when they were designing these springs? Because one has to have enough pressure to know how many. I'm not sure how they measured. I'm not sure if they measured in foot-pounds, or maybe some people that are familiar with springs or lawn irrigation guys can chime in on the comments. But you have to have enough pressure to push it up against the resistance of the spring. So once it's pushed up, the water pressure's pushing it up, it comes out through the top. Once it comes out through the top, it begins to spray out in this direction here. Once it sprays out here, then we're going to say a hypothetical that this is on zone one, this pop-up. Say you have 5 of these on zone one, on this particular zone. 5 pop-up heads. This is a fictitious scenario. So we have five heads pop up. They water the lawn. The sprinkler system is set for 5 minutes. 5 minutes expires, the clock goes off, tells the system to cut itself off. Once the system's cut itself off, then what happens is the water pressure no longer goes in this direction, and the water pressure no longer pushes up here. Once the water pressure ceases to exist, then there's nothing pushing from the bottom, so the spring retracts, and when the spring retracts, the head goes down. So case in point, if we looked at it from this angle here, okay, this would be the angle where the water would be pushing up. But then when the water pressure subsided, so as one can see, the spring actually goes up, 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 and the system's off. So the question is, how, when designing these, do they do so many tests on these heads? Because if you have 5 heads, each head's going to deplete the pressure for one particular head. So it's a very genius idea. When you look at this, it looks very simple. Now, keep in mind, this is a different configuration than the oscillating head. This is in the irrigation field, but it's a different paradigm per se. So, but this pop-up is very simple. The pressure pushes up, then it comes back down. When it releases, the spring pushes it back down. So this spring is the mechanism to close it here once the water pressure is no longer driving this little configuration up here. So once the water pressure goes in, up, pushes this up, this goes up, this is screwed, this is a female thread onto a male thread here. The head comes out of the middle, and that's how the pop-up head works. So once it closes, then the spring allows it to close. So that's the inside guts of a lawn sprinkler system pop-up head. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.